When it comes to real estate, everything matters. Whether you're a realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title is here to inform, entertain, and inspire you. Host Bill Napick from Stewart Title will talk with guests about what really matters when it comes to owning, buying, and selling real estate. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title starts right now. Here's your host, Bill Napick.
Welcome to the show, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I am your host, Bill Napick. What a show we have for you today. Thank you for joining us and listening. I always say stay close to your Stewart Title Business Development Officer. That is because they are a tremendous resource for you if you are a real estate professional. That's right. Reach out to them. You can go to stewart.com all around the city. And, of course, we are an international company, so we're even outside of the Houston area. But for right here in Houston, you want to know what's going on with classes, special educational events, even fun events, just Google Stewart Title. Look for your business development officer if you don't already know who they are. They are tremendous individuals. In fact, we have one here with us today later in the show. So whether you're listening right here in Houston, Texas, you could be in Colorado, the Woodlands, Katy, Texas, even Pennsylvania, wherever you are. Once again, tremendous guests are assembled for your enjoyment and entertainment right here today and information. We have Jack Swanson. He is with Martha Turner Sotheby's International Realty. He is a tremendous, very accomplished individual in the real estate world, and even prior, he has been with the Air Force. He can fly an F-16 fighter jet. That is right. Jack is a tremendous individual. First of all, Jack, thank you for your service in the Air Force, and welcome to the show.
Thanks, Bill. It's good to be here.
Pretty awesome, huh? F-16s.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. So let's tell people, first of all, most people here in Houston know Martha Turner Sotheby's International Realty, but let's say they are listening from afar. Let's tell them a little bit about your company first.
Well, Martha Turner's been around for, 40-plus years now. She has become a Houston landmark. That was one of the reasons why the Sotheby's industry sought out and bought the brokerage from her about 4 years ago. She established, I think there were 6 offices surrounding the greater Houston area. And that presence and the fact that, her tagline was basically, we'll sell any home from $20,000 up to $20 million.
And you all have done that, right?
We've all done it. And with that type of presence, that was what Sotheby's was looking for when they were going to come into the Houston market. They wanted that presence. As a matter of fact, when they bought Martha Turner, we were one of the few company-owned brokerages. So it's not a franchise. We are company-owned. But because of Martha's reputation within Houston, they allowed our brokerage to maintain the Martha Turner name. As a matter of fact, they wanted that, which they don't do with any of their other company-owned brokerages.
Two very recognizable names, Martha Turner,
coming
Sotheby's,
together, exactly.
Coming together, and certainly now known all over the world. And
and that was one of the big reasons why I came to Martha Turner Sotheby's International, is just because of that global brand presence, the reputation that Sotheby's has, not only from the East Coast to the West Coast and everywhere in between in the United States, but the global aspect of the company. I think the longevity of the brand, the longevity of the company, we're associated with the brokerage house, or the auction house, I should say, which just went private, by the way, is something that precedes us as a company, but it establishes who we are with respect to luxury, customer service, knowledge, expectations. We're able to do the marketing at that level for our clients. And when someone calls a Sotheby's agent, there's some expectations that we have to live up to. So it's a very reputable brand, and I think the two companies, when they came together and they bought Martha Turner, they did a great job and a great service for the clients, our clients here in Houston.
Also, as far as cities to be in, right here, as you're describing Martha Turner Sotheby's International Realty, the world has its eyes not just on Texas, but it has its eyes on Houston. There's no question about it. So you are in a great spot because you.
As a matter of fact,
buyers and sellers all over the world.
I jumped on that fact as soon as I got to Martha Turner. Okay, we've got offices all around the city, and the city is 75 miles across, east, west, north, south. I don't care. It's a huge area, huge landmass, which is why we've got offices in Kingwood, the Woodlands, Katy, Memorial, the Bay Area, et cetera, et cetera. I took that a step forward, just talking about the presence of Houston and the Sotheby's company. When I got to the company, one of my big passions is skiing. I've been skiing for 50 years. I wanted to become the ski expert for Houston. And I went out and I found a Sotheby's agent in each and every one of our primary ski resorts in North America. So I've got a Sotheby's agent with the experience from Santa Fe Taos, Aspen, Vail, Breckenridge, Steamboat, Telluride, Park City, all the Utah resorts, Jackson Hole, Sun Valley, North and South Lake Tahoe, up into Canada. So every single North American ski resort is covered. Once I did that, I realized that, you know what, that's kind of naive. Why don't I bring in other metropolitan feeder networks, feeder markets? So now I've got another almost 30 agents arrayed around North America, Mexico, and Canada from every major metropolitan area within those areas that actually feed Houston, and they feed each other. And as we grew, I realized that we've got, Sotheby's has a number of agents or brokerages in beach resorts. So now we've got 12 agents in our network, in my network that I've put together, from specific beach resorts to include Hawaii, LA, San Diego, all the resorts down in Florida, the Hamptons, the Cape up in Massachusetts. So when you start to stop and think about the network that I've built, and this is just a small snapshot of Sotheby's, the brand, I've got over 60 agents now arrayed around the United States. A lot of them are looking in those second home markets, the ski resorts and the beach resorts. And I'm in the process of adding some of the key critical global cities that are part of the Sotheby's brand. Every single one of these agents are experienced Sotheby's agents, for the most part doing more than $10 million a year. Some of them are doing well in excess of $50 million a year. So these are critical attributes and points of contact that know about not only myself, but each other in the network, in our own private little network that we've put together. But then if they have another person, another agent in their brokerage that has a client that's coming to Houston, let's say, they can, if they're known as they have this referral network, they can send their clients through my contact to me. So when you think about someone in Dubai, which is who we're going to be adding here pretty soon, if you think about our oil and gas industry, or London or Paris, and you think about the global international companies that are here in Houston, you can see the viability and the attribute that brings to potential clients that are coming here, and vice versa. If I've got people moving out into those areas, I've got known individuals that I can recommend and refer. It's pretty cool.
Everything is tied together.
Everything is tied together, and everybody is pretty much vetted, and they understand the Sotheby's culture, the Sotheby's brand, the level of customer service and knowledge we expect. I mean, if I'm going to send a client of mine or a friend or an associate of mine who's going to get transferred to London, I want to make sure that I'm going to give them, because it's going to be a reflection on me and of the brand, a known agent that will be able to give them that expected Sotheby's level of service and make sure that transaction works as smooth as possible.
I'm also thinking that if there's someone right here in Houston, I'm sure you have run into them every now and then where they say, Jack, I'm thinking about having a second home so I can ski. Yeah. You're going to have all the facts right
My
there.
question is what resort do you like to go to? But you know what was really interesting, Bill? This, I didn't really think about this. It was kind of naive when I put it together. But there are the agents that are, say, up in Aspen or Vail or whatever. I've had more of them. As a matter of fact, Big Sky. I've had 4 or 5 of these agents refer back to me clients that they've had before we ever did this, who are from Houston, and now they know them, and they're like, hey, you need to call Jack. He's down in Houston where you're from. You're selling your house. You want to get a new house? Call Jack.
That's right.
So, the referral network goes in all directions. And so we've got the people in, Chicago's giving referrals to LA, and LA's giving referrals to San Francisco. And that's the beauty of the Sotheby's brand and the global aspect
Well,
of it.
also, don't you? I seem to remember. I don't know if it was Paul, your associate, that was on the show not that long ago. But you have an event where you see other Sotheby's agents.
Yeah.
Like, is that once a year,
So
and then you all meet and you
it's
get to
about
make
every
connections?
18 months. And just last month was it was last month. It was in Vancouver. They had just under 2,000 agents from around the world. It's their global networking event. They do that every about 18 months. They bring all the corporate staff together. They give us, kind of a rundown and an idea of where the company's going, what we're doing, new marketing game plans. And it's a great opportunity to meet and compare notes. More importantly, from my aspect, I get a lot more out of the regional networking events that they've had. So this last year, I was in Denver. We had one in Miami. We did one in Boston. We did a ski-any, which was back up at Big Sky. All of these, and we also had a Texas one in Austin. All of these are regional events that are hosted by the home brokerage, and it's opened up to other brokers or brokerages in the Sotheby's brand to come into that particular region. And now you get to learn a much more focused aspect of, what is that market? Who are those clients? What is that brokerage doing that might be unique? And it's a more intimate. So now instead of having 2,000 people that you're trying to interact with, now you're dealing with let's say 250 to maybe 700, and that gives you a lot more time to really meet these people on a one-to-one basis.
And Jack, let's tell people right now. Let's say they're in Houston, whether they want to buy or sell their property. How is the market? Because people always ask, even when they're not wanting to buy or sell, people always want to know, how is the real estate market? But let's say, and we'll tell people, you are in the main office inside the Loop.
Correct.
For Martha Turner Sotheby's.
I'm right over in the
International Realty.
Galleria area.
So what's the market like, let's say, in that area?
In my
Let's take that.
opinion, I'm going to say it's a buyer's market pretty much just about everywhere. The inventory's pretty high across the board. We're seeing a change in cultures of buyers, actually, which is something, we'll go into that in just a second. But unless you're in some place like West U or the Heights, where there's a demand for that kind of environment or that culture of that particular
demand. Those two
that's
places.
a special demand. And another aspect where I think it's kind of hot, and we were talking about this earlier, is in the entry level 200,000 and below. Just because there's not a lot of inventory and the builders aren't building that anymore. So as a result, the supply and demand for that product is tough and hard. Once you get out of that area, it's a buyer's market. And we're seeing, the buyers are being pretty tough. They know it's their time. They know they're in the driver's seat. We're seeing some pretty goofy things that we haven't seen before. We're seeing buyers simply walk away from their earnest money just because they think they can get a better deal somewhere else.
Or a better deal pops up.
And one of the things that I'm seeing, there's a huge change right now in our society. And we're going to see a critical change between who the primary buyers are. For decades now, the primary buyer has been the baby boomer. Well, the baby boomers are basically dying off, retiring. Their kids are starting to take care of them. That transition of wealth is happening. In about a year, the millennials are going to actually outnumber the baby boomers. And the millennials, now that they're growing up, they're having kids, they're getting married, they're starting to come into the housing market, and they're starting to be the buyers. From a baby boomer's perspective, it's about time. I'm sorry, when I was 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, that's when I was getting married, having kids, and starting my life. The millennials are taking a little bit longer, taking it slow, and now that they're hitting their early 30s, that's when they're starting that change. So now that they're there and they're starting to actually going to more than exceed the number of baby boomers, there's a huge cultural shift right now in the United States, and it's happening here in Houston, where who your primary buyer is. If you think about it, the baby boomers, they're trying to sell off their big homes that they bought when they were in their 50s and their 60s or maybe their 40s, right? Well, guess what? That big house with the big yard, the pool, the backyard.
There's a lot of them
there's
around
a lot
Houston.
of them,
There's
right?
a bunch of them everywhere.
And what comes with that? A large tax burden. Well, the millennials, that's not a desired product necessarily. What the millennials are looking for, they want that HGTV house. HGTV is having a huge impact on our housing market. They want clean, they want fresh, they want flipper flop or, the fixer upper, but it needs to be move-in ready, and it needs to be on a small, almost a patio level home where they want to be able to almost lock and leave, so they've saved their money so they can go buy that second home or go do that 2 or 3 vacations a year and not have that huge overhead and tax burden that comes with a house of the stature that myself or my parents used to have.
That's
Make
fascinating.
sense?
Wonder where will they find that house?
Well, at the Heights,
Check your realtor.
Spring Branch, Independent School District up in their area. But, a lot of the
point.
traditional neighborhoods that have been very, very desirable are changing. And until those neighborhoods change, I think they're going to have problems. And the neighborhood that comes to mind right off the top of my head is Tanglewood. If you just look at the number of homes that are for sale in Tanglewood.
Are there a lot? I haven't checked.
It's flooded.
Is that
It's flooded.
right?
Now, you can say, well, it's not true in River Oaks, but the difference between a River Oaks and a Tanglewood house is the address. So that still carries a huge level of desirability, and that doesn't necessarily translate to a neighborhood like River Oaks, or Tanglewood.
Jack, let's tell people how they can reach out to you. Also, real quick, you have a video. If people want to see that video, I like the video that you have talking about your marketing services, a little bit more
thanks.
about your background. If people want to see that, what should they do, and how can we reach you?
Well, I would ask them to please reach out to me at my cell number, 713-456-9381. I do have a Facebook page on Facebook. Obviously, Jack Swanson, Martha Turner, Sotheby's International Realty is on there, or my private one. You can get on it there, or I think I've got it on LinkedIn as well. I do have a YouTube channel. It's posted there, and I'm posting a lot more videos on there. We're starting to try to get that information out, and this is trying to establish useful information that is applicable to both sellers and buyers about the real estate transaction, and trying to help them get ahead of the process before they jump right into it.
Jack Swanson, Martha Turner, Sotheby's International Realty. Jack, thank you for being on the show. He's coming back later, and thank you for your service once again.
Thanks, Bill.
In the United States Air Force. We're coming right back with even more. Stay with us.
Thanks so much.
Most people don't know that Stewart offers business, home, and auto insurance. In fact, Stewart Insurance and Risk Management has been doing that and more for over 10 years. And they partner with many leading insurance companies to offer great rates. They're a national insurance agency operating in all 50 states, delivering a broad range of insurance products. Whether you need a home insurance quote for a client's home closing or your own insurance needs, you can count on them. Call 866-845-4676. That's 866-845-4676. Stewart Insurance and Risk Management is here to help.
Here we go. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. The show continues. In real estate, there are so many things that are important. In fact, everything's important. In fact, real estate even matters. Photography, however, is super important. Many people, sure, they'll see the home as they drive by, maybe, but most of the time, the first impression is done online with pictures, with videos. Bobby Alcozer, he is the owner of Next Listing. He is in the photography and video business. Bobby, welcome to the show.
Good to see you again, Bill.
So pictures are kind of important. Just a little.
Just a little bit, yeah. It's the first thing people usually go to learn more about the house, whether it's HAR, the MLS, on their phones. So it's really picked up, I've seen, the last 15 years when I first started.
Very interesting. Well, let's tell people about your company and the area that you serve geographically with your many photographers. You have about, over a dozen?
We have 13, one in Austin, 12 in Houston. Our office headquarters is in Katy, but we shoot all over the city. I try to
Woodlands, Clear
everywhere,
Lake,
Woodlands, Conroe, everywhere, because realtors can't pick where they get their listings, and they count on us to go out and get professional services done. So yeah, we've been enjoying it for 15 years now, and really thriving on service as what makes us different.
What are the trends that you see? I mean, you're doing this 15 years, but let's just say the last, couple years, do you see anything new or things that people are asking for? Certainly there's the still shot.
Yeah.
You're taking those pictures, lighting's so important, but are there any trends that you're seeing?
Yeah, definitely. Virtual staging's picked up a lot more. We started about 3 years ago, and people weren't that interested, but now we get several orders of virtual staging. Another thing is video. More realtors want to be in front of the camera. I think they're just trying to follow the footsteps of the Property Brothers or HDTV. So, and Facebook encouraging, so does HER, to do more videos of yourself. And that's why we opened up the studio, so they can come into our studio.
And that's where I was when I went to visit you not that long ago.
You saw the studio, you saw the couch and all the snacks we have, made it very comfortable. And we just target realtors, and we just do custom videos for them.
So let's tell people a little bit about that. So if a realtor says, I want to have a video done, what would they do? Give you a call, and then they go to the studio?
Yeah, they just go on our website. They schedule an appointment. I just got one coming on my phone right now from Matt Stanley. And they just come in and send us a script. We'll have a teleprompter. What makes it, I think, very unique in this setting is that we understand them. I've been working with realtors for 15 years, and I'm the one behind the camera. And a lot of them they don't expect that. They expect some kind of employee or staff member to be there. But as the owner, I take an interest to be there and make them know that I care about their business. And we work together on what is the message you want to portray. Is it insight? Is it educational? Is it a holiday video? Is it a profile video? So there's different types of stories we could be telling. But the main thing I've learned is making them feel comfortable, because they're very nervous. And so it's my job and duty to make them feel comfortable, laugh a little bit, and they make them feel like they want to come back. And they always do. They love the experience. They always tell me, like, oh, this was easy. This was nothing. I think some of that, 'cause I've been working with realtors for 15 years now, so I kind of know their mindset. I know their stresses in life, so I kind of understand them a bit.
Going back to the still pictures of when someone's listing a home, if I recall, don't you have certain packages?
Oh, yeah.
So it's more than, I'm going to take pictures of the house, and it's going to include, I don't know, however many pictures come with it.
Sure.
Depends on the size of the house, I guess, as well. Let's tell people a little bit about the packages, because I think that's pretty nice. You include a lot of the things that may be extra elsewhere.
Realtors want it fast, simple, and easy. And we made our packages very easy to understand. For some packages, they want blue skies and green grass included. We're very affordable. I get that all the time. It's like, you guys are so affordable.
People just want to give you more money.
Yeah, they want to give us more money.
I like that.
And I started that way 15
Hey, you're not
years.
charging me enough. Give me
I mean, I was at a WCR event. A guy was standing next to me. He's like, what are your prices at when we start? Really? And that's done on purpose, because I know realtors are bombarded with so many fees and so many things they have to pay out.
That's a good point.
And so I'm very understanding of their lifestyle. And I came from real estate home. I saw the stresses my mother was under, the good and the bad being in real estate. So I came into this with a point of view I don't think many share like I do, because I know what you're going through. And I just try to always make it a great experience every time you come and work with one of my photographers or my staff. And when I train people, we hire people in the office, one thing we kind of joke is a lot of some of the stress that comes to a realtor just coming from the seller, just like, I need my photos up, I need this. And sometimes that gets transferred, like a conduit through the realtor to the person that answers the phone. So we train very carefully, like, listen, please bear with them. They're just kind of under a lot of stress, because some just kind of, they get kind of upset under a lot of panic. And so we make sure to let them understand that they're just needing a deadline. And they're always happy with us, though. We always make them feel comfortable. In fact, I think the reason why we've been successful for 15 years is because we care like no one else does.
That's very important. In fact, as you're talking about the different stresses and things like that, the real estate transaction, possibly almost at every juncture, can have a lot of emotion attached to it. People are selling and buying for different reasons. There are new jobs that are happening and things like that. So, yeah, a lot of things people have on their mind. You said it very well early on, and that is people want it simple. What was it? What did you say?
Simple, easy, and affordable.
Simple, easy, and affordable.
Yeah.
Simple is so important, especially during a complex thing like that. Tell us, though, again, the package. If someone, let's say they don't want video, but they say, I want to have the home ready to go, have great pictures. And who pays, the realtor or the seller?
The realtor pays. Very few times the seller pays. We can set that up if they like. But our prices start off at $70. That's a home under 2,500 square foot. If home's 25 to 5,000, it's $125 for just photos. But that includes blue skies and green grass, and it choose up to 50 photos. And we load them to MLS. And I get this asked a lot. Do your photographers have super keys? Yes, they all have super keys. I forfeit the bill. I pay the bill to HAR for them to have super keys. And so we make sure that our photographers are all background checked. They're well trained. They wear a lanyard badge, and they dress professionally. Again, that's the reason why I think our clients keep coming back to us over and over, is because we try to think of everything they will look for to represent their business.
That sounds great.
And be their assistant. Because a lot of times they've told me, it's like, you guys are my assistant. I don't have an assistant, I can't afford an assistant, but you are my assistant. And I take that very, very seriously because I feel like that's a big responsibility they're giving us. And they sometimes talk to us like they're with their assistant, but that's fine. It comes with what we signed up for, and we love them.
Well, certainly you are a member of the real estate professional.
We are.
Whether they choose Stewart Title, home inspectors, they need to have the right people on their team to make their job easier and also to let them be able to be of top service to their buyers and sellers. There's no question about that. Let's talk about videos. Sometimes people want videos of the home. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we're, I think, the only company in Houston or maybe in Texas that has a voice artist on staff. And she used to be in radio, actually. And
that's right.
Cody Roberts.
What's her name? Yeah.
Cody Roberts. And so she voices all our tours that we do. And she actually does the script too. So we even help the realtor out by not even having to do the script. So she does the script because she has some real estate background and she does a fantastic job. So our walkthrough video tour, it's real video. Someone the other day told me, it's not that stitching garbage. I said, no, it's not that stitching garbage. It's real video we walk through, and Cody then voices it over, and it's a beautiful product.
Also, what about drone photography? Are people
All
doing
the
that
time.
anymore?
Oh, absolutely. That's
So you're
part of
covering all the angles.
Yeah, drone, aerial, night shots. We cover all the angles. Photo descriptions. We're the only company that does photo descriptions where we'll write underneath the picture to help. Again, as an assistant, I think this is why they say you're like my assistant, because you do more than just the virtual staging and shoot the house, but you do the photo descriptions underneath the pictures.
We were talking with Bobby Alcozer with Next Listing. He is the owner. Bobby, before we close out the segment, what else would you like people to know about your company, and how can they reach you?
Yeah, I'd like to know real quick that we help out the real estate community a lot. I'm on the board of the WCR, Women's Council of Realtor, Greater West Houston. I've shot many events for like Better Homes, REM, REMAX, that we're always giving back out there to the real estate community. And we actually helping out HER 290 as well, Johnny Holloway out there. We sponsor there as well. So we're always giving back to the real estate community because I believe in giving back, not just getting something, but we always give back. And we've been very blessed. So our number is 281-398-2129. Again, it's 281-398-2129. And just visit our website at nextlisting.com, and all your answers will be there. And please, if you need any more assistance, call me directly. Ask for Bobby. So let me speak to Bobby.
Nextlisting.com, 281-398-2129. Bobby, thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're coming right back. Stay with us. Bobby's taking a few pictures right now. Thank you, Bobby. We appreciate that. Welcome back. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I said it at the beginning of the show, stay close to your Stewart Title Business Development Officer. I am close to mine right now. Her name is Corey Walker. Corey is taking care of business right there at Stewart Title in Friendswood and even in Pearland. Corey, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Bill. I'm excited to be here.
I know you were excited at the meeting just a few days
Yes.
ago, so excitement is such an important part, and we are glad to have you at Stewart Title.
Thank
When
you.
we say Business Development Officer, sometimes people don't know what that is, but let's tell people when you describe your role at Stewart Title as a Business Development Officer, what are you doing?
Man, primarily our job is to make sure that the real estate agents that we are blessed enough to be doing business with are getting the top-notch service that they deserve, because they have plenty of options out there. So we have to give them some things that set us apart from the competition right down the road. And I believe that's service. You have to make sure that you're offering them something of value that they can walk away from the table with, knowing that that's the place they want to continue to do business moving forward.
It's that easy. And
Yeah.
one of the other distinctions is this very own radio show right here.
Yes.
And guess what, Corey? You are on show number 281.
281, I think, yes.
And it seems like only yesterday. So we're glad to have you here
Thank
on
you.
the show. And let's tell people, as far as the marketplace, Pearland, Friendswood, what's going on out there?
Well, I am just now getting saturated. So this is literally my week 3 with the wonderful Stewart Title Company. So right now, I'm kind of bouncing around, learning all of my offices in the area. I came from the territories over Deer Park, Pasadena, LaPorte side of town. And so learning my agents, we've got some exciting events that are coming up leading into that. I know you were planning to ask me.
Yeah, let's talk about a little bit of some of the events. There's a lot of things all over the city, but in your area, what's happening?
Well, tomorrow I'll be hosting my very first class, broker responsibility class, So I'm going to be meeting many of the brokers from our surrounding real estate offices out there in Pearland. So I'm excited to be making their acquaintance tomorrow. We have about 20 people expected to show up tomorrow, so should be a nice full class. We got some good speakers coming in. Make sure they're staying ahead of the curve and staying knowledgeable, because you're powerful if you're knowledgeable. So we want to make sure they leave tomorrow. Plus, they're getting those hours that are so absolutely important for the agents to make sure they're
the
keeping up
CE
their
credits
license.
and things
Absolutely.
like that. What else is happening in the summer?
Well, we've got a couple of fun things coming up. I think we might be taking a fun casino bus trip, packing a bus and headed out towards Louisiana for a day. But I will also have another class coming up in August, Legal 1 and 2. That's a very important CE credit that the realtors make sure that they get covered once a year. So we'll be having that one in August. So that's what's on the horizon in the next month or so.
The other thing that's a Corey distinction, actually, we talk about Stewart distinctions, and we have many. You have a distinction because you have a sister that works also for Stewart Title. Let's just tell people a little bit about her. She has been serving Stewart Title for, I think, a decade. Is that correct?
About 10 years,
Let's
if
tell
I'm not
people
mistaken.
who she is. She might even be listening.
Yeah, and I would love to call her out on the radio. She should be sitting right here with us right now.
You could only dream, but let's.
No, her name is Kelly Schotz, and she works out at the Stewart Title Clear Lake branch. She is a fabulous closer. I like to sometimes remind her that I urged her to get into the title industry.
Is that right?
Well, yeah, I was in it for probably about 10 years before she ever did get into it. So she ended up coming to work for Stewart. Rhonda is the office manager over there, and they all have a very close relationship, and they have an amazing group of women over there at that office.
Indeed, and not to mention Susan Bottoms, who is leading the charge as business development officer right there.
Killing it.
She really is.
Yes.
And that area, let's do this. People hear the show, certainly here in Houston, but they hear beyond Houston. And even I ask this because I am not that familiar with Pearland and Friendswood, more so Pearland, but for someone that might be listening from afar, give them a quick description of the Pearland, especially Friendswood. What would they see geographically? What's that picture look like? Are there trees? Is there water? What's happening?
Oh my goodness. Well, Friendswood's a beautiful area. They're building up a lot over there right off of the 45 South area by the Baybrook Mall. They've done a lot of additions over there, lots of fun restaurants to eat at. We get to take our clients over there and take in the scenery over there. But yeah, it's a very, the word friend is in Friendswood, and there are so many people that I have just been very fortunate to meet, not just in the real estate industry, but just in passing, different real estate companies, but also mortgage companies and anyone that I come in contact. Just a very close-knit community over there. So I'm blessed to be working over in that area for sure.
You really are. Corey, if someone wants to reach out to you, what should they do?
Either way, I like to be accessible any way, email or via cell phone. That would be 832-784-7930. You can text me, call me. I will make sure that you get a very prompt response.
Also, I think you have another advantage. Your name is simple, easy to remember, Corey Walker. It's that simple. You can call Corey at 832-784-7930. 832-784-7930. If you're driving, simply Google Stewart Title, Friendswood, Pearland. You're going to be right there. And Corey, before we close out the segment, what else would you like people to know, especially the real estate professionals in your area?
I would just like them to know that we at Stewart Title, Pearland, and Friendswood would appreciate the opportunity to earn their business. We don't expect it. We want to earn it. We want to make sure that we're giving them something of value. We are very focused on listening to their needs and giving them everything they need as soon as they get to that closing table.
And just for the fun of it, let's say hi to Kelly again, and we'll say it together.
Hi, Kelly.
Thank you so much. Corey Walker, check her out right there in Friendswood and Pearland. And just a quick word, speaking of business development officers, here's Christina. Christina, since you are here, give us a quick idea. Is there anything coming up from, as we say, you are right there in Kirby Grove, Stewart Fine Properties. But let's tell people, Christina, anything coming up that you want people to know about as far as events or whatever?
Yes, well, we actually just had our big Don't Get Rocked by a Hurricane this past month. It was a huge success. We had a phenomenal turnout, and Steve Costello was a wealth of wisdom. So he is just incredibly knowledgeable. So we're thankful for him. But also coming up in July, we are excited to have a staging class coming up, which will be CE credit on July 17th. So we will get details to you on that with Shelly Barndollar of Show Homes Houston.
Oh, we love Shelley.
She's incredible.
And Pratt. Yes.
And Pratt. Both of them are a super dynamic duo. And I can't wait to see what they're going to show us, especially with some of the images they've shown us before on their staging. And also coming up on July 25th, we can't wait to bring back our second annual Christmas in July.
Oh, that's right. Is it Christmas in July already?
It's here, Christmas in July, and Santa's going to be making an appearance. So we are actually going to be hosting the event at our new corporate office at 1360 Post Oak Boulevard. And it's Fine Properties and our Kirby office. So it's going to be benefiting the Harris County Animal Shelter. So pet adoptions will be taking place from 9 to 1.
Last year they had about 12 or 13 dogs found homes,
Yes.
and even cats. Awesome.
Absolutely. So it's a new record. So this year we want to have at least 20 pets adopted, and they are absolutely adorable. So we would love for y'all to come out, and our 2020 calendars will be out. So those of you who still like a paper calendar, this would be your great time to pick it up.
That is Christina Sacco right there.
Thanks.
Stewart Fine Properties. Look at that. Christina and Corey.
I love
Both
it.
of your names
I know.
begin with C. All right, we're
Can't
coming
wait.
right back with even more. Stay with us. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
This Wednesday coming up, our Business Development Officer, Tammy Barna, is putting an event together along with Mark Klecka. Tammy is with Stewart Title. Mark is with Klecka Tax Resolution. He's going to be the main speaker of an event called How to Get the IRS Off Your Client's Back and Look Like a Hero. So if you're a real estate professional and your client has problems or knows someone that does with the IRS, it may be preventing them from getting a home, Mark will tell you what you should do, some great ideas. This Wednesday, June 26th, it'll be 10:30 to noon, Cypress, Texas, at the Boardwalk. It'll be with our good friends, the Kelso Group, Chris Kelso, Hometown Lenders. You can reach out to Tammy. You must RSVP 713-203-8640, 713-203-8640. Tammy is with Stewart Title Cypress. If you forget, just Google Stewart Title Cypress, Tammy Barna. Let her know you'd like to be a part of the event, or tammy.barna@stewart.com. How to get the IRS off your client's back and look like a hero. Wednesday, June 26th. Welcome back. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, Stewart Insurance. That's where you can get home, auto, all kinds of insurance, flood policies, broker E&O, umbrella, watercraft, just to name a few. John Bramlett, Brittany Taggart. Hey, guys, welcome to the show.
Howdy, Bill.
Hello.
And you guys are with Stewart Insurance.
Yes, sir, we are.
Leading the charge in an incredible way.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Well, let's tell people, somebody mentioned something about CE classes, and you wanted to talk about that very subject. Is that correct, John?
Absolutely. We have a class that's it's a CE class, but it's also one that really helps realtors and brokers focus on what's important for their industry. It's more of a business class, and it's real estate liability, reduce your risks, and protect your license.
Boy, protecting the license is so important because that's the person's livelihood, the real estate professional.
Absolutely. If your license is not intact, you can't make a difference in people's lives.
And I think something else just to add is, our expertise, what we bring to the industry is while we're an insurance broker, we only focus in real estate. So as you mentioned, it's working with those home buyers to secure a home policy for their closing and working with those businesses that operate within real estate, so our real estate brokers, and making sure that they are properly insured. So when we think about we've crafted our classes, it's all surrounding real estate as it relates to insurance. And so I guess this class really, if we could break it down into two components, it's all about risk. And like I said, that's where we bring our expertise. And there's two things that you can do with risk. You can manage it or you can offset it. And so in this class, we learn some practices that real estate agents and brokers can use to manage their risk or reduce an event from happening. As we know, we can practice safe driving. We can do things and set precautions in place, set procedures in place to reduce the risk. But if the event still occurs, you have a loss. And so the other side to that is making sure that you offset risk, and that's typically through insurance. So that's really the two main components of the class that the real estate liability class covers in a 3-hour time span.
That sounds like a great class. Why would someone not want to take it?
There would be no reason.
There would, not that I can think of. In fact, so let's hit on that quick though. If they want to have the class, and who are you offering this to? Anybody that wants to sponsor it or have it, right?
Correct. So this is, like I mentioned, this is not only useful for our real estate agents to implement these practices, but when we look at it from the insurance perspective, a lot of times our agents are covered through insurance through their broker. And so this is also a very beneficial class for a broker to hold, not only for their own knowledge, but also for their agents so they know what they're covered for. And so there's a variety of policies that we go over during the class, including, like you mentioned, the E&O, or what's called errors and omissions insurance. So as a real estate agent or real estate professional, you provide services to the industry. So if there were to be a mistake or an error in some ways that you've provided services, or somebody perceives that you've made a mistake, you might have not necessarily made a mistake, but litigation can pursue. And so that's what an errors omissions policy is for. And then some other things that we're hearing in the industry is around cybercrime. So we absolutely look at this class each time we give it, and we enhance it every single time to include some of the current risks that we're seeing in the industry, so we can make sure to address it with our audience.
And if people would like that class, what should they do?
Call us at 866-798-2827, 866-798-2827. Ask for Brittany or myself, or they can email us at stewartinsurance@stewart.com.
The number again is
866-798-2827.
That sounds like a great class. And when people, you've already given the class several times, what are some of the responses you get, John?
I didn't know that.
I bet there's a lot of surprises where they said, I didn't realize that.
I didn't think about that. Or, well, we've kind of spoke about it, but we really haven't formalized that process. So what do we, from the managing the risk perspective, what are the things that they're doing to make sure that as a broker or their agents, that they have a process in place to minimize these risks? And then from a broker's perspective, we hear a lot of times, I need to go back and look at my policy again. I need to make sure that my plan protects me.
So if a broker is out there listening right now and they want to have the class, they can do so.
That is correct.
Call
us at 866-798-2827.
That sounds pretty exciting. What do you think, Brittany?
What I really like about this class is that it's structured how we have conversations with our clients. So that same idea, which is let's talk about the risk, how to manage it, and also how to offset it. We have that same conversation one-on-one with our brokers when we look to insure them. Also for agents that are wondering, what can I do to minimize my risks as an agent? So that's what I really like about the class, is it gets to a lot of people at once, but it also mimics that conversation that we have one-on-one when we're going through the insurance process.
In addition to this class, you do have other classes too. Do you want to mention that?
Sure. We have Two Sides of Water.
I love that. That's easy to remember.
Which looks at flood insurance and flood and water damage, and which are the insurance policies that cover each. And then we also have one it's insurance basics for a real estate professional. So they have an understanding of what are the insurance policies and programs and plans in place specifically to the real estate world.
Anything else we should know before we close out the segment?
Just let us know that Stewart Insurance is here to support and be a partner for the real estate industry.
Give them a call at
866-798-2827.
Our guest is Leslie Barkley, General Manager of the Houston Palm. And as we talk about real estate matters right here, Leslie, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me on, Bill.
I think one of the great things about things that relate to realtors and real estate is food. The Palm has been here, what year?
1978.
And that's here in Houston on Westheimer Road, but the Palm totally is 93 years old.
1926 is when we opened, and 93 years old, yeah.
And thinking about the tenure of the Palm right here in Houston, Texas, from the real estate community that we talk about on the show all the time, the Palm has been here for such growth that we've had in Houston. So all that as it happens right here in Houston, you have realtors walk through the door. This is one of the most realtor-friendly restaurants in all of this big city. It is. You see it all the time.
It's such a celebration place. Also, one of my favorite stories from Jimmy Martin, who I think all of Houston knows, but our original general manager, who was here for 40 years running the joint, came out here in 1978 from New York. And he remarked that when he and his wife drove out to scout it out, having never been to Texas, never been this far away from New York City in his life, the thing when he pulled into town, he saw nothing but cranes everywhere through the city. And he looked at his wife and he said, yeah, I think Wally made a good choice coming out here. There was just such a boom. And I don't think, from what I'm understanding, that it has stopped
It
growing.
is not slowing down. Houston is growing in
Right.
every direction, and you see it here. I would tell you that every realtor that is a top realtor, and anywhere in between, new realtors, has walked through these doors, especially the top realtors, but even people from long ago that have since moved on. They've been in this restaurant celebrating, having meetings. It's just tremendous.
Right. We've partnered with several. I can think of a few right now who I absolutely adore, and I consider them Palm family through and through. They were family of Jimmy's and now family of mine. But we partner with them in unique ways for their homeowners, new homeowners, and we've had a lot of fun with that. But you know, when you do something as large as purchase a home, which I've done, it's huge. It's also stressful. It's also a process. When everything comes through and everything's settled, there's just nothing like having this celebratory event of some sort. You know, we have our incredible and beautiful restaurant that was remodeled in 2013, and such a family and welcoming place that people celebrate here. We celebrate all the time, birthdays, you know, anniversaries, etc. But home ownership, oh my goodness, it's a huge celebration. We have wines and champagnes, we have private rooms, we have a great spot in the bar where we're sitting now. We have fun people. We have people that have worked here for 40 years waiting tables and cooking the food. So as Houston has grown, we've grown with it, and we've really enjoyed meeting new homeowners and their agents. It's been great.
It really is. And not only that, the investors that have walked through these doors, and even Stewart Title. We not that long ago had an event right in one of your meeting rooms, and we had, I don't know, I think we had a great turnout, probably 50 to 70 people. I don't know what it was, but this is always a great place. But it also is a part of Houston. I think one of the nice things, and there are, as we talk about on this show all the time, that yes, people are coming to Houston all the time. There are many people that are coming that have never been here before. And when they see the Palm, certainly they may know it from being at another Palm around the United States. They see the Palm and say, oh, this is great. Now I'm in Houston. They have a Palm and they get to experience it
and
too.
That's a fantastic point, Bill. The other good thing about the Palm Restaurant is being around 93 years and being in so many major cities. If someone is moving in from another state, another city or another state, the likelihood of them knowing the Palm and it feeling like a piece of home is high. And here we are, you know, and the great thing is, you know, we've talked about consistency before. While our different cities have different personalities, the Palm itself at its core, at its heart, has the same values, 100% same values. So when you walk in, you should feel like it's home. You should be able to celebrate with beautiful, beautiful decor in a dining room that's gorgeous and fine product and food. But instead of being the place where you feel the need to hush and be quiet and stuffy, we're a family joint. We always have been. So you come in and you experience the fine things, but you enjoy and celebrate and talk and engage with the staff and me, hopefully. It's just a great place to celebrate.
And as you know, I'm here a lot for lunch, and so are other people. One of the things that draws them to the Palm, not just real estate professionals, but anybody, is that when you have lunch, it's a good place where you can talk. It's not too noisy. You could be in the bar and enjoy a conversation, great food. You can eat light, have a salad, or you can go have the steak as well, and even the dining room. So it's a nice place to have that business lunch or dinner of any kind.
Right, absolutely. If you need to be out quick, we're family. Say no problem, we'll get you out, you know. But it's a good place to stop by for lunch, certainly. It's a business lunch, absolutely. We have a ton of folks here for business lunches.
And let's tell people as they listen, certainly those that have been to the Palm many times over here in Houston or beyond, may first think about the Palm for a great steakhouse. Certainly this time of you have lobster all year long, but the summer times it screams lobsters in here, and I love that. I was just here, as you know, a couple of weeks. I'm going to be here later this week for that lobster special. But let's tell people about some of the things they may not think about. Yes, this is a great steakhouse and a great place for a lobster, but what are some of the other things that are distinctions from your mind?
Well, we're an Italian family restaurant. We started as an Italian restaurant. My owner's grandfathers were still family owned, came over from Parma, Italy, and opened in New York City as an Italian restaurant. We only started serving steak when the guests would ask for it, and they'd run across the street to a butcher shop and bring fresh steak back. So, we have probably, I have one well-known person in Houston who says to me all the time, Leslie, you're the only great red sauce joint in town. He's a New York native, and I love him. But he reminds me of that all the time. Focus on the Italian. That's what our roots are, and we don't mess with it. We have the same recipes that have been in the families, my owner's families, for several generations, four plus generations. So it's just simple recipes, but they're so Italian. It's so good.
Well, Leslie, very nice. If you're listening out there, you want to have a fantastic lunch, dinner, the Palm right on Westheimer. What should they do, Leslie?
They should come in and say hello to me, especially
Leslie Barkley.
Yes, to Leslie Barkley, and certainly let me know if you're an agent.
There you go. Thank you so much, Leslie. And we're going to come right back with even more. As the clock is ticking, we're going to bring back Jack Swanson to let you know how to reach out to him. As I mentioned, United States Air Force flying the F-16, Martha Turner, Sotheby's International Realty. Jack, before we close out, let's tell people again how they can reach out to you.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from you. Give me a call at my cell anytime, 713-456-9381. Or if you want to reach out via email, it's jack.swanson, and that's Swanson with two O's, SWONSON, at Sotheby's. I'll spell it for you, SOTHEBYS Homes, HOMES.com.
Give them a call at 713-456-9381. You could also Google Jack Swanson. I saw that, but Jack, real quick, the first time you flew I'm fascinated with this. The first time you flew it, I mean, you had a lot of training, right? You must have had simulators and everything else, but the first time you did it on your own, tell us quickly what that was like.
It was kind of an out-of-body experience, I guess you'd say.
And how long was the ride?
Well, it was an hour and 15, but I think the first time I took off, and you realize you're sitting in the cockpit by yourself, and there's no one else there, and just a sense of freedom and awe and accomplishment, and
pretty exciting.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Thank you, Jack, and thank you again for your service. He's back, Bobby Alcozer. Next listing, Bobby, let's tell people how they can reach out to you if they want some great photography and videos as well.
That is nextlisting.com, and the number is 281-398-2129.
281-398-2129. He's taking pictures. His team is taking pictures all the time. Give us a quick word, Bobby. How many homes do they shoot a day? It's like a whole bunch.
Yeah, we can shoot anywhere from 30 to 60 homes a day.
That's right. And that's without even breaking a sweat. Corey Walker, Stewart Title, Business Development Officer. Let's tell people one more time how they can reach out to you.
You can reach me at 832-784-7930, and I look forward to talking with you all.
832-784-7930. Corey Walker, Texas Business Development Officer. Ranger, I knew I had to say that.
You had to add it in.
That's right. And don't be sad that the show is ending at the time of broadcast. Should people be sad, Corey?
Absolutely not. Be happy, always.
Be happy. It is not ending because it never really ends. You can always go to Stewart.com/Houston. Stewart.com/Houston. If you would like to see the YouTube video of this show and see these tremendous guests, just go to my YouTube channel. That's Bill Napick, K-N-A. The K is silent. Bill Napick radio shows. It's right there. They're all there. Or Stewart.com/Houston. Once again, I'll say it. Stay close to your Stewart Title Business Development Officer wherever you are. That's right. International company, STC is the stock symbol, and we'll see you next week. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Until then, thank you all for being on the show, and thank you for listening.